There are other things out there, too, and I've got some audio sound bites to back all of this up. And I want to start getting your phone calls in on this. But one thing, we've talked yesterday, this nothing to do with anything that we've discussed so far. But yesterday we made mention of the fact that Barack Obama was running around talking about the fact that one time, that time long ago, he was insulted and somebody thought he was a valet. Not when he was president. Over 7 years ago, somebody thought he was a valet, and that meant the United States was racist. That meant that he had a legitimate chip on his shoulder. And then his wife was running around saying, yeah, I went into Target, and I was first lady. Now, I was in disguise, but I went into Target and somebody asked me to get something off a top shelf. And that was supposed to be racist because that meant that the person at Target thought that she was an employee. A grunt employee, and for only one reason, that she was black. And so that was used to tell us that our country is still racist when even the first lady and the president are insulted with racist comments. Don't tell us that Barack's election means anything, was the point of that. So let me ask a question. If I call Michael Jordan and say, hey, man, can you show me how to make a jump shot? Am I racist? Is that racist if I call MJ and say, I need some help with my jump shot? It's not? It's not insulting him because he's black? I mean, I could just easily call Kiki Vandeweghe and ask him, but no, I'm calling MJ. Is that not racist? If I want MJ to show me how to make a jump shot? Well, then how come Obama gets away with saying it's racist? Somebody asks him thinks he's a valet. Anyway, there's a little news here on the Mrs. Obama aspect of this, and it comes from our buddies at TruthRevolt.com. Wednesday, People magazine released an interview with President Obama and Moochelle, my belle, Obama, in which the two discussed their harrowing experiences with racism. And among those dire experiences was a shocking incident during Michelle Obama's undercover trip to Target. She said, I tell this story, even as the First Lady, during that wonderfully publicized trip I took to Target, not highly disguised, the only person that came up to me in the store was a woman who asked me to help her take something off a shelf. Because she didn't see me as the First Lady. She saw me as the help. She saw me as someone who could help her. Those kinds of things happen in life, so it isn't anything new. From that, we're supposed to believe that America is so rotten discriminatory that asking a black woman in Target to help get you something off the shelf is racist. Because it means that every American thinks that every black is nothing more than an average minimum wage store clerk. That's what Michelle Obama meant. But do you know, she told this same story 2 years ago in an entirely different way on Letterman. Same story, same event. Here's how she described it on Letterman. I thought I was undercover. I have to tell you something about this trip, though. No one knew that I was me because a woman actually walked up to me, right? I was in the detergent aisle, and she said, I kid you not, she said, excuse me, I have to ask you something. And I thought, oh, cover's blown. And she said, can you reach on that shelf and hand me the detergent? I kid you not. And the only thing she said, I reached up because she was short. And I reached up and I pulled it down. She said, well, you didn't have to make it look so easy. That was my interaction. And I felt so good. She had no idea who I was. I thought as soon as she walked up, I was with my assistant, and I said, this is it, it's over. We're going to have to leave because I've been spotted. But she just needed detergent. So 2 years ago, it was a charming and funny event where a woman needed the assistance of a tall person to reach something from a high shelf. But today, the same story is racism. And this, another example of how it's done. This spreading of guilt, making things up, structuring them as you go to achieve the desired result that you want. And it's just I think it's obviously beneath these people to engage in this kind of thing, but it illustrates for us who they are and what they're really intending to do and what their base manner of thinking is. And this to tell this story in a different way. Recently, People Magazine is a country still. How does that advance anything? How does that how does that help a thing? Particularly when that was not her original interpretation of the event.